It means a lot to us. We've won this prize as a team. There's many people behind this. The application was written by a scientific assistant called Mien. Liz and Colin received the prize in November last year, and now I'm sitting here and can talk a little bit with you about it. And it was a great honor for what this whole project is about, which is about building community and having people involved, publishing data from the wash sector. Hi, my name is Lars Schöbitz. I work for ETH Zurich and in the group of Global Health Engineering. WASH is an acronym. It stands for Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, and it's research that specifically addresses the needs of people for proper sanitation, meaning toilets, clean drinking water and hygiene practices, which we see in the global south today many people are still lacking. And within this sector, there is a lack of computational competencies, and we are helping and empowering people to learn those to be able to publish open data from the wash sector, so openwashdata. I think what we've done well is to be quite welcoming to people that are not yet acquired to computational tools, working with open data, working with code. Maybe also because we weren't ourselves. I'm not a computer scientist or a statistician. I studied environmental engineering. So the approach that we have is very welcoming, and giving people a chance to understand what we do is learnable, to remove some barriers, some fear from this being quite technical in nature, and giving them a chance to work with those tools themselves and recognize that it's possible to do it. I would say that's the most innovative probably about our approach. We're still lacking sustained engagement beyond the individual courses that we teach, beyond maybe the individual data sets. There's still a bit of a lack of a continuous community feel, which is what we want and need for this to be sustainable long term, is that the community carries on without external funding, so that the approaches, the workflows, the tools keep staying alive and are managed by everyone and not just by us as one institution. I think that's a huge challenge at the moment, yeah. For me, it's a lot about the people that receive the competencies and skills and their involvement in those data sets and how they're published. Similarly, from a research perspective, how we try to shift the focus on the scientific publication and more towards the data as a separate set of research products, with also a separate set of people involved, where when I think about our research specifically, it's people that help us collect data, that go from house to house to ask questionnaires. We now have opportunities to include them in publications, which is data, so that they get recognition for the work they have done, where they would never end up on the scientific publication. So it's like a set of skills, competencies, products that people can show on their CVs that makes them more hireable, with greater competencies at large, that I think is for us the biggest impact in itself. Less so about the individual data sets and the number of those, but more the people that receive training and actually actively participate. Yeah, we'll see yet what the impact of the individual data sets are, I think. I often say, we may publish 1,000, of which only one ends up being the one that changes really how things are being done, or that's applied in a lot of different places and different knowledge. I wouldn't say that's our number one objective, that the value of the individual data set is that high, but more that the sector in general moves towards a more open approach, which then should help everyone in different aspects. I would love to see more policies in academia that require people to publish data if it's non-sensitive and it's not personal data, a bit like we have on governmental level, where there's federal policy soon that require civil servants working for federal government to publish their data. We're seeing that on city and cantonal level in Switzerland a lot. So there's a lot happening in open government data, but institutions like higher education are often a bit, they get their own rules and they don't have to do the same as the federal level government. And I wish to see that happens a bit more, that it's more required also on the policy level, maybe also by funders. Yeah, my position, I love to see institutionalized, which I think comes alongside the potential policies, that if there are policies and a legal framework that requires people to publish their data, then there also requires to be the educational support, the support system and research groups on department level, that a data steward could help individual researchers pursue this as part of their career and research. Yeah.